fucking Jets
Arm the laser.
Arming the laser! Begin laser ignition!
Guaranteed.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the thing. So do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, that's my favorite show.
What a day!
For Deuce and Mo.
The Kings are back on track. They got a home win, and oh, it was so impressive in the fourth quarter. How we doing, Night Chats?
What up, Deuce? Hey, Morgan.
Hello.
I'm rooting for y'all.
Thank you.
Let's go, Kings.
My goodness. So good to be live after another Kings win. 8 games above 500, Morgan Reagan. They won their 27th game tonight. Last year, they didn't win their 27th game until March 26th when they were 27-48. They're 27-19 right now. How about that, Morgan Reagan?
Those were some bad times. And I know I'm always kind of like, why do we have to bring it up? But because
Just perspective,
that's
man.
my point, is when you compare the two, and it's not really to bring up old, really bad, depressing, awful, unforgettable, messy memories. It's really just to have perspective of how beautiful, wonderful, amazing, perfect
My jacket is.
this life is when
This
the Kings
live.
are this
I thought
good.
you were going to talk about the jacket.
No. I mean, we always talk about the jacket because the jacket's on after every win. And I'm sure anyone that ever just tunes in, you know.
Thinks I'm a tool and a half.
Yeah.
But guess what? I don't care about those people.
Well, I care.
No.
but-
Because here's
Oh.
the thing, Morgan Reagan.
Yeah, please.
Some of these other shows from NBA markets, it's probably so vanilla. You gotta spice it up. Sports is fun.
Oh my God.
You're supposed to laugh. You're supposed to get emotional. You're supposed to cry. It's not always, well, let's talk about what we saw tonight, Morgan. Who stood out to you? That's an interesting.
Why you gotta make fun of other markets?
Because this is fun. The Kings are 27-19. Oh, it's so fun. Hey, if you're in the chat, the biggest thing you could do right now is hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel because the race is on to 10,000 subs. We're inching closer and closer. In fact, I believe we're like 550 away from 10,000 subs. That's a big time deal. We appreciate the support of the community, and shout out to everyone out there who was live with us this morning when we did a 3-hour talk show, our debut show.
So cool.
Was there a debut today? Was that today?
Ew.
It was today.
Yes.
It's hard to keep track of all this stuff.
No.
We were live this
Kidding.
morning, 11 a.m. on Sacktown Sports. We're up Monday through Friday. You can catch us 11 a.m. on Sacktown Sports in Sacramento. It's on YouTube too. Sacktown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being there. That was so much fun. Deuce and I kept talking about how much energy we had because we were just so excited, right? And we're like, okay, we got to have a lot of energy for Night Chat. Thank God the Kings gave us this type of win to bring the energy we all deserve.
Yeah, and I really don't care that the Grizzlies were shorthanded without Ja and Steven Adams tonight because this is still a talented group. They have shown in the past that they can win without guys like this, Tyus Jones, can be a starter in this league. What Sacramento did tonight, especially in that fourth quarter, was borderline unbelievable. We've seen some cool things this year, but the fact that we saw the Kings have this many turnovers, hit so many threes, and play legit defense, the beam just felt extra special tonight.
Yeah, a little bit more magical. So I'm excited to talk about some of the magical moments, what made this night so special, even with a shorthanded Grizzlies team.
Kings fans.
Give me a hell yeah.
Before we get started, it's time for a little roll call, baby.
Hey, can I give a shout out really quick?
Sure.
Shout out Brickhouse Industries, who have obviously always listened to us for so many years.
Yes.
Thank you so much. But also, he had given this shirt, this crew neck, to Scott Freshour to give to me, and it says Team Potomac. It's referring to the Real Housewives franchise, Real Housewives of Potomac. So
Hell yeah.
I was so excited when I got this. Very, very sweet of you to think I'm a small. Very cute of you. I will not be able to dry this thing, but it is absolutely perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, appreciate you guys. Some people say I need new headphones. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, man, these are cool. It's retro, right?
No.
They're kind of faded.
We got to get
Honestly,
headphones.
I love the sound of these headphones.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I tried yours before. Ugh,
Okay.
mid.
Okay.
Definitely mid.
Can we get to roll
All right,
call?
let's do a little roll call. Because we got Kings fans. It's late on Monday night, but the Kings just beat the Grizzlies. Might have been a 7:30 start, but you're still here after a game because you're feeling good. You're feeling energized. You're like us. You had a long day today, but at the end of the day, you take a deep breath and go, ooh, the Kings won, and they did it with defense. De'Aaron Fox getting the deep hog. Let's give some love to Insane Cookies, Jesse James, and Boost. We got Space Dragon, Chicken with Mace, and Moshi, and Logan. What's poppin', man? And Dash. I'm on. DFW, J Scooby, Tyler, Logan. We aren't stopping. Loyal Sac Kings fan, and frankly, Floyd. Cast Digital Media's in the building with Citro, Christian and Lee, Steven Smith, DJ J, DGK Acid, and Homer James. How about your Jags? Benjamin's in the building. Adam, Nick, Alex, and Manny, and Trevor, and Jake, and Torch. Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm like the Kings in the first quarter. Mitchell, Sean, and Sam. Kylan in the building with Neo. One of my guys, we got Todd, and one tried, and shout out to the people on Twitch, including Nesto, and how about Kessie for gifting 3 subs, and a special shout out to Tina, who donated $5 on the YouTube page.
You want
Hell yeah.
to know why Cassie gifted 3 subs?
Why? Because Deli?
For Deli's 3 minutes.
Woo!
Love it, Cassie.
Deli Town, baby. What's up, Jax? What's up, Benjamin? Tina says, I feel like I've spent all day with you guys. Yeah, it's going to feel like that a lot.
We're going to hang out all the time.
What's up, Roger? Spectre in the building. What's up, Jets? Scotty C, Gerardo 2, and Modern Mexican in the building. All right, appreciate you guys being here. Let's get started. Deuce and Mo coming down in 3.
Turn the fucking jets on.
Okay.
Turn the fucking jets on.
Okay, I'm going, Mike. I'm sorry. In 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast, recording this late on a Monday night after the Kings got one of those wild wins. They set an NBA record, or at least tied one, for the most threes in a first quarter tonight when they knocked down 12 of 13. The lead did disappear at one point, but it was a major fourth quarter because of the Kings' defense. The bench stepped up in a big-time way, and the Kings beat the short-handed Grizzlies tonight at Golden One Center, 133-100. Memphis didn't have John Moran or Steven Adams, but they still have a lot of good players, and the Kings got the job done behind some outstanding defense in that fourth. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. We've had a long day, but we're here. We're alive, and we're feeling good. How you doing, Mo?
Long, great day, dude. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I didn't know I needed it, but I guess I needed that type of win tonight. And I think I wasn't expecting it because obviously going into this game, thinking Ja Morant and Steven Adams would be playing all the way up until close to the game when they were finally declared inactive. At that moment, I still felt worried and then was feeling good throughout this one until things got close again. So the Kings responding to the Grizzlies getting close and ending this one 133-100 was just spectacular in how they did it.
There's so much to go over in this game. And the way it started was pretty insane. When you see Harrison Barnes start the game 5 of 5 from downtown, Keegan starts the game 3 of 3 from downtown. The Kings end up knocking down 12 of 13 from 3. In the first quarter, Morgan, they dropped 47 points and led 47-33 after 1. That was insane shooting that you knew wasn't going to be, I mean, you're not going to shoot 12 of 13 and like that hot, but you knew the Kings were capable of still hitting 20-plus threes. That was some impressive shooting, and they did a great job getting great looks.
It was scary good, right? The way that guys were feeling super in rhythm with their shot when the ball was being swung around. I remember the other day, I just have to mention this, watching a Celtics game, and Al Horford had a look from 3, and he had maybe 10 minutes of this open 3-point look. A guy that can hit that outside 3, he missed it. Stan Van Gundy was talking about how sometimes those are the hardest threes to make. And what you really saw from tonight from the Kings, just to compare, it's like every single time the ball was moving, it allowed guys to get into their shooting rhythm. It just had some beautiful energy, some flow to it to allow guys to get into their motion of where they like to shoot the best.
Yeah, HB had it rolling.
Fox just got fouled in transition. No call. Gives it up to Harrison Barnes. He's on the left wing. Now they reset the half court. Step back 3. Harrison Barnes has done it again. 5 for 5 in 6 minutes of playing time. Oh my goodness. 24-19. The Kings back up by 5. Sacramento 8 of 8 from downtown. Well, you know that won't continue.
It did not continue the same rate going into the second quarter at all, right? The Kings end up struggling a bit in that second quarter where they go just 1 of 9 from 3 in that second quarter. The first few minutes of the game, you're like, or the second quarter, you're like, you're serious? You're going to have 4 turnovers in less than 3 minutes. Memphis goes on a 10-0 run, and then they're right back in the game. That second quarter was pretty much a disaster for the Kings. They had 9 turnovers in the second quarter, 13 at the half, and it was like, oh, is this going to be a repeat of the Sixers game?
Felt like
you
it.
had a lead, you're knocking down shots, and now your defense hasn't been good, and you go into halftime with a 5-point lead at 66-61.
It didn't feel great. And then it started feeling worse when they came into the third. But before you get to that, just looking at that second quarter, after starting off so hot, it was frustrating to see the Kings not only lose the lead, but again, how they were losing it, not staying focused, not just staying locked in and wanting to make sure that they were doing everything right against a really good team in the Grizzlies.
On the good front, it seemed like the Kings offense was still able to get some things going, but then there would just be turnovers. You know, Sabonis had a few offensive fouls that were crucial. I thought that you were just talking about the sloppiness. I thought they kind of steadied a little bit once Malik Monk got into the game in that second quarter.
Yeah.
He came in and provided a spark. And it's wild, like last game, the themes we were talking about is they got crushed on the glass, and now the bench has given them nothing. You know, Malik Monk has been a big topic because you're like, can this guy get going again? Can we see the Malik Monk that we saw at the start of the season, who was kind of doing a little bit of everything, setting up teammates, knocking down some shots, getting to the basket? We haven't seen that guy in a minute. That guy showed up tonight, and that really helped the Kings offense, I thought, in a big way. He got the little pick and roll action going with Sabonis, little 2-man game, and that was sexy.
Dude, the way that he was channeling his energy is exactly the way that we were talking about the other night, that he can do such a good job when it's under control, when it's controlled chaos even at times. But it didn't seem chaotic at all. It seemed super under control, and I think there was a point where, yes, in that second quarter, Domas Sabonis tipped the ball out after Malik Monk had a baseline miss. So tipped it back out. It went back out to Malik Monk. So Monk's like, okay, I'm going to reward my big fella. He started driving in, and Sabonis was in that dunker spot. All the defense was going to Malik Monk, who was driving in the paint. He dished it off to Sabonis just for an easy jam. And in that moment, it was just great because that whole little section, it wasn't even the entire possession, but right there within that possession, those two completed that play the right way. They really just fed off each other, and that's where I'm like, this is where Malik Monk is at his best.
It was the one way that I felt like the Kings could get Sabonis some easier looks. I felt like early on he was just trying to play bully ball a little bit, and he was getting frustrated. You know, they've got good length out there. Jaren Jackson is just such a pest defensively.
Yeah.
He's long. Even if he's not blocking your shot, he's contesting. He's doing a great job. And, you know, when you're driving inside, you got Tillman down there who's a bigger body. You got Jackson down there. It's hard to get some things going. And they were so aggressive, Memphis was, with the double teams on Sabonis anytime he touched the ball. So what better way to get him going? Get a little pick and roll action. Malik Monk out there with some shooters. Get Sabonis an easy look inside.
Yeah, it was getting Sabonis those easy looks. It was getting the shooters from the outside to relocate and just have a nice little spot up shot. Everyone was just looking a little bit more locked in whenever things were going well tonight.
In that third quarter, it didn't get much better at the start of it. It was similar to the second quarter again. It just felt sloppy. The Kings weren't knocking down some shots at the end of it. And then all of a sudden, Grizzlies kept chipping away.
Got the lead.
They got the lead. I was wondering what was going through your mind when the Grizzlies took back the lead at 73-71. Bane, this play I wrote down because it kind of bugged me. I forget who he blew by initially, but Fox could have come over and helped, but he backed off last second. I felt like he just gave him there was no contest. And I think he was trying to avoid the foul. I don't want you to do that in that situation. That's my one play here, because I thought he was great defensively tonight.
Yes.
Even before the fourth quarter, what he did getting into Tyus Jones, playing physical up in that guy. And if you watch Fox's defensive highlights the last couple of games, he's trying to get in the guys a little more, and it's encouraging to see. But that particular play on the help, go out there and foul the guy. Don't let Desmond Bane just coast in for a layup to take the lead.
Sure. And you're talking about, just like you're saying, a particular play. And that's fine to want it to end up like that. But like you said, there was just so many other moments where he was putting that perimeter pressure on and making things so much harder for them. But before we get to that, just the start of the third quarter, when Desmond Bane was getting buckets and getting to his spots and getting those line drives. And when they took the lead, I felt deflated. So if I felt that way, I wasn't sure how they were going to feel. And I was feeling that mostly because of what happened against the Sixers, right? Not just because of 21-point lead, but how they lost the lead and how they never responded to really get it back. I was feeling that same way tonight because I'm like, okay, Grizzlies are a good team. I see how this is going to go.
Well, I thought they had some nice moments toward the end of the third quarter. They were able to get some separation again, and it was, again, when Malik Monk came into the game. I thought Monk did some nice stuff, and then Trey Lyles. Oh, we haven't talked about Trey Lyles tonight.
We have to talk about everyone.
It was wild to look at what he was able to do out there tonight. Let's just go to the fourth quarter. The Kings took a 10-point lead into the fourth quarter because of plays like this.
Fox to Holmes. Rip it down, big fella. Rashawn Holmes on a perfectly placed pass from De'Aaron Fox. Fox just got his 7th assist to the ballgame. 7 unanswered for the Kings. And here's Fox with the steal. Fox now into the front court. Left wing feed. Trey Lyles. He's ready for 3. He's got the bucket. And the lead is suddenly up to 14 in the final minute of the third. 10 unanswered points for Sacramento. Timeout taken by the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that made it 100-86 when it was a 4-point game at 90-86. So a nice 10-0 run. They end up taking a 10-point lead into the fourth quarter. And, hey, what do you know? It was the defense coming up. And how about that bench? The bench tonight was marvelous. And it's fine. The scoring's fine. Of course, you need buckets. I need rebounds. I need stops. I need movement, deflections. The bench did that tonight. It was Trey Lyles. It was Rashawn Holmes, baby. And then De'Aaron Fox with that group too. And that carried into the fourth quarter, Morgan.
I'm totally with you on that. I thought even Rashawn Holmes in his 14 minutes, he made an impact out there. His presence was felt on both ends of the floor. And it's great to see, right? Something that we all want to see because we're all rooting for Rashawn Holmes to be that backup center. But it's not only that, it's something that we keep discussing time and time again of what this bench can and cannot do. And when they're not productive, it's not pretty for the Kings, which can be surprising at times because you have such a solid starting lineup. We went over the numbers of what JJ Redick was talking about, this starting unit and where they rank in the league on offense and defense when they are on the floor. And it's like top 10, top 5.
Yeah, it's number 1 in offense and number 4 in defense.
There we go.
As a starting unit, yes.
As a starting unit. So then you look at your bench and it usually doesn't just go downhill with the second unit for the Sacramento Kings. But when things aren't clicking is usually when you can feel it out there. And it's like, really, you can't even add just to your role of being that guy to get some rebounds or to play defense. And tonight, they added and contributed on the offensive end and on the defensive end with the energy, the deflections, and being in the right places at the right time.
Now, let's just talk about what we witnessed in the fourth quarter.
Let's talk about it.
The Kings outscored Memphis.
Oh, yes.
33-10. Yes, 33-10 in the quarter. We got to get to some insane stats about that fact, including the fact that in that quarter, Morgan, Memphis was 2 of 19. They were 0 of 7 from 3. They had 10 turnovers. The Kings in the fourth quarter had 8 steals and 3 blocks. That's absurd.
That's nuts, you guys. I mean, just there was the sequence when there was back-to-back Grizzlies turnovers, and it ended up leading to the 2 dunks.
Are you talking about this stretch?
Steal attempt. Oh, and a great job by Trey Lyles. He poked it away. He goes to the full transition hammer. He wound up and windmilled that one home for 21 points and an 11-point Kings lead, 107-96. Here's another deflection. Lyles pokes it away. Grabbed by the Kings. Lead it to Monk. He goes for the two-hand rip. 109-96, 9:12 to go. Grizzlies take their next to last timeout. Defense leading to offense.
Amazing. That was an amazing stretch. And it was so fun to see Trey Lyles make those plays. Be honest, though. On that first play when he went up for the dunk, were you a little worried?
Yeah, I saw your tweet about that, and I was like, yes, I'm so glad someone else noticed that.
Oh my, when he took off, I'm going, oh, no, he's going to be short on this.
Yeah.
Like, he took off from far.
A little too far, in my opinion, still.
It wasn't too far.
No.
Don't sleep on Trey Lyles.
I'm not sleeping.
This guy deserves some love this year because of
Lots of love.
he came into camp in shape. He was ready to go. And he was asked about that after the game, too. And it's just like, yeah, I'm able to run more. I'm in better shape. It helps me out there. And it's good to see that for him.
Mike Bibby on the postgame show on NBC Sports said, he said this about Trey Lyles. I didn't really know who he was before tonight. And I loved it because I'm like, Mike Bibby's out there coaching. He's out doing other things.
You know what's wild, though?
What?
It's just like you played in the NBA. You think you'd watch basketball for the rest of your life.
You think?
Like, when I'm done with this media game, I'm still paying attention to what everyone does.
Dude, but then, I mean, yes to watching it for the rest of your life. But when I saw Lindsey Harding on the floor the other day, we were talking about still hooping or something. And she was like, no, I haven't played since. And I was like, really? And she was like, when I was done, I was done. I was completed. And because we were asking, like, if she still gets shots up, like, that's her workout. And she's like, no, get me on a Peloton. And I'm like, and she's like, I rebound for the guys. Like, that's where I get my basketball fix.
But I'm talking about watching.
And so watching the game, though, I'm with you. Like, if you play at that level, I'm like, especially for a team that you played on, and it's not like he bounced around the league everywhere, right? And so it is interesting when he did say that. But my whole point to this is Trey Lyles stood out to him on a different level tonight. And it made sense because the guy was dunking the ball. He was knocking down all the threes. He was getting deflections. He was just everywhere. Fantastic performance by him.
Funny comment from Steven who says, if Trey gets drug tested tomorrow, he probably will at this rate, to be honest.
Maybe.
That's how the league works. And how about this stat from Jason Ross tonight? Over the final 9:45 of the game, the Kings held Memphis to just 4 points on 4 made free throws. They forced 8 turnovers, and Memphis missed their last 15 shots. The closing run was 30-4. You know, it's like, yeah, Memphis missed some gimmies in there too, but Sacramento's activity, it's amazing to watch when a team gets into like a complete rhythm. And you don't see it a lot from the Kings, especially defensively.
Yeah.
You see these like moments, oh, that was good defensive possession. That was clearly like their best stretch of defense in a game all year, where they were just flying everywhere. The communication was perfect. Rashawn Holmes is playing the pick and roll perfectly. Hands are up. Deflections are happening. Guys are getting after rebounds.
Rotations, baby.
It was perfection. Is it going to happen every night? No, but that type of effort is what the Kings need to have. And I love that they responded like that after what happened last game. You took on a shorthanded Sixers team without their big fella in Embiid, without Harden, got destroyed on the glass, right? Like, it was Paul Reed and Montrezl Harrell, and oh, by the way, no one on the Sixers had double-digit rebounds. It was all guys with 6 or more, and tonight the Kings were like, oh, yeah, we got a gang rebound. Mike Brown called us out at practice. Like, we got to show up tonight, and they did.
53-31. They out-rebounded the Grizzlies 53-31. And I know so many people are like, but no Steven Adams. It doesn't matter, you guys. Like, if you look at their roster, like, the rest of their squad can step up. Look what they did last year. It was last year or the beginning of this year without Ja Morant. It was last year, right?
Yeah, last year they missed some large stretches. They won games, yeah.
But my point is, when Ja Morant was out and they were still winning games, like, they have a culture in place. They have a foundation in place. And so it was nice to see that the Kings were still going to dominate, especially on that defensive end, especially because their backup point guard, like we said, Tyus Jones, probably one of the best backup point guards in this league. So to
He's
step up,
the best backup point guard.
Yeah, to step up in that starting lineup, it just meant, okay, like, the next man up for mentality for them. Another thing too, Will Z had tweeted out earlier tonight before the game. He said Jaren Jackson Jr. is the best interior defender in the NBA in his opinion, holding opponents to 54.1% in the restricted area, which is ranked first out of the 428 players. And I just thought that was fantastic because you see his dominance in there in what chaos he creates in there. But the Kings on the offensive end were still scoring also in the paint.
The other stat that Will Z had that was pretty absurd because
he's so
I was
good.
looking at the Kings turnovers. At one point I look and I'm like, they're up 30 and they have 25 turnovers. In this game, they finished with 25 turnovers and won by 33 points. That's pretty damn weird, but it just shows you how elite the shooting was tonight. The ball was still moving around. The Kings are the first team to win by 30-plus points with at least 24 turnovers since the Seattle Supersonics did in February of 2000. Yeah, the Supersonics, rest in peace. They're not here. That happened in 2000, 23 years ago.
How did he even? What are you, Will Z?
Dude.
You freaking robot.
But that it was just one of those weird ass games. But I loved what I saw from the Kings tonight. It was a great bounce back game on the home floor. You're back to 8 games above 500 at 27-19, and the season series between the two teams, Memphis and Sacramento, tied at 2-2. So that's encouraging too. 20 points for Harrison Barnes on 6 of 10 shooting, 6 of 9 from 3.
Are we giving him enough love really quick?
You know what? Before we get there,
Okay.
let's go to Mike Brown. Let's hear some Mike Brown because here's what he had to say about the bench.
I thought Trey, Malik, and Rashawn were huge off the bench for us tonight. And not just with their scoring. I thought defensively they were really, really big, but more importantly than their defense was their ability to rebound. Their ability to rebound and let us get out and run. You know, that contributed to the 30 fast break points that we had. But I jumped our team pretty good this morning about our inability to rebound against Philly. And Malik got an earful from me as well as a couple others. And I must say, he stepped up and showed out with the 9 rebounds tonight, 7 of them defensively. Now, I don't know if he's capable of getting 9 every night, but he definitely can rebound, and we need him to rebound when he's on the floor. And he showed that ability tonight, which was beautiful. So a lot of great individual performances from our guys, but
that was big-time stuff. Malik Monk in the game, Morgan. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists on 5 of 9 shooting. He did that in just under 24 minutes of work.
You heard that one rebound toward the end of the game where he just corralled it with one arm. It was just the energy.
The chaos,
yes.
dude. The chaos of Malik Monk, man. It's a ride. It's a roller coaster ride.
It is.
And it goes up and down. You get nervous sometimes when he's handling the rock. But tonight, when he's in control, he's playing with it. He's going to take some wild shots every once in a while. He's going to make some wild shots too. But I loved him setting up Sabonis a ton. The rebounding was massive tonight.
That's it.
Those type of numbers off the bench are incredible.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you, and just seemed focused and really locked in. You see how that can help some really athletic players' games. It just does something different for them. I think there's so many different players with so many different personalities, especially on this team. You see calm, cool, and collect, keep your body language here, Trey Lyles, who is still dominating at this level. And then you see Malik Monk, whose chaotic energy is still dominating at this level. It's just great that you can have a whole bunch of personalities meet at the same place.
It's also great that it's a Monday night.
Oh.
We're approaching Tuesday morning in Sacramento, and we've got 600 plus people watching us live right now.
Let's go.
Let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it moving. Make sure if you're here, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed, and also remind yourself that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, when we're live again in the morning from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sacktown Sports, you're there too on our YouTube feed. I'm going to drop that link in the chat.
Hell yeah, you are.
Because we're going to be on, and it's going to be fun. We're going to be talking a lot of Kings. We talk everything, but it's going to be a lot of what went down tonight. So make sure you are subscribed to that channel. Give that a thumbs up because we're trying to build that. Let's take over Sacramento. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's get to the poll question.
Yeah. What was it tonight?
Who was your dog of the night?
Of course. Why would I even ask that?
The options. Malik Monk. We mentioned him. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Keegan Murray. 20 points and 9 rebounds.
I know.
Oh, Rook. Look at you hitting the glass. Harrison Barnes with 20, 6 of 9 from 3. Or Trey Lyles, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks in this game.
I've got twin dogs for this game for me.
Twin dogs?
Yeah, I have to give it to both.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Who is it? I'll approve it depending on who it is. If it's what I have written down, I'll approve of it tonight. But you cannot do twin bills all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
So obviously Trey Lyles.
Yes.
My other one, and just hear me out before you say anything. No barking. Okay. Remember, dislike. Harrison Barnes, because he set the tone with his shot making ability right from the start. Yes.
That's fine. It's your dog.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's fine. It's your dog.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there. All I'm going to say, you're right. Fine. I can't argue it. I just think Malik Monk, who has been, Malik needed this game tonight.
For sure.
He needed a game like this for him. Mike kind of called him out last game.
Dogs
there was
rolling
kind of
packs,
hits.
right?
Yeah.
Or that Wolves.
It's dogs and wolves are the
Same thing. Same thing. Yeah.
I just, what Malik Monk has been going through recently, the major funk, for him to come out like this in a situation where they need to get a win against a really disciplined team, a team like Memphis who plays physical. You saw that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they play with a little bit of an edge. They're punch you in the mouth. They're talk some shit while doing it. I loved what I saw from him. But your point on Harrison Barnes tonight, I mean, you come out of the gate and you start 5 of 5 from 3. And he had one heat check, and it was like that step back one. But other than that, he got good looks, and he knocked him down. And for a guy, by the way, who was shooting like terribly from 3 to start. What is going on with him in the month of January? I think going into tonight, he was shooting 38% from 3, which is like, oh, there you go. Like I said, remember I told you that before the season. I said, like, this guy's a 40% 3-point shooter in his time in Sacramento. Well, shit, he might be there tonight.
Yeah, we'll check that out and see if he's there tonight. But either way, even if he's in that high 30 range, his shot has looked so different because he's beaming with confidence,
I
right?
like what you did there, like the beam.
Beaming.
Yeah.
I'm lighting the beam, beaming with confidence. You can see he feels so much more comfortable and confident in this motion offense and feeding off of guys and understanding his value and his role with this team offensively.
I'm looking at this month in 3-point shooting in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
This is insane. In the month of January, Harrison Barnes leads the NBA in 3-point makes. How insane is that?
That's insane.
Number 1 in the NBA in January. In 12 games, he has made 44 of 83 from downtown. That is good for 53%. He is number 1. Dame Lillard, number 3. Buddy Hield, Dame Lillard 2. Buddy Hield and Keegan Murray tied for 3. So you got talk about January. We haven't talked about Keegan Murray yet, right? Harrison Barnes has knocked down 44 threes this month. Keegan Murray has knocked down 39 of 76 for 51%. You've got 2 of your guys in the top 3 in 3-pointers made this month.
And what's so wild about this, and it doesn't bring anything down, is that Kevin Huerter isn't even on this list after the way he started this season, right? And not to say that he's not going to find that groove, that rhythm again, even on a consistent level. But either way, it's so cool that you're getting this contribution from so many different pieces on your team from deep.
I know, and you know what's crazy is Kevin Huerter's not shooting a bad percentage this month. He is shooting 38% from 3. That's good 3-point shooting. You'll take that. But 2 of your players right now are shooting absurd from outside. Even Trey Lyles, he's taken 6. Let me double check that. I almost messed up again.
Yeah, don't do that.
Trey Lyles has taken 3 a game, but he's shooting at a 47% clip this month. So the 3-point shooting, the Kings offense has been rolling. We talk about HB. I want to talk about Keegan Murray's night tonight, Morgan, because it just seems like he is starting to really get probably into the best rhythm we have seen since the start of this season.
Yeah.
What's jumped out to you about Keegan?
That I know when he first started this season, we talked about how he doesn't look like a rookie out there, right? Like just NBA ready. He's already shown growth in his body language, his presence out there, the way that he looks much more confident when he's knocking down that 3, whether it's an open 3, whether it's a contested 3, or the way that he's going to the rim with authority, ready to throw it down, ready to accept that contact and not just look for a foul. It looks much different, right? Than it did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, remember the beginning of the season when a lot of the balls would float up and he'd be like, let me try and just get this high off the glass. And it's like, no, bud, you're 6'8". You're a strong man.
Dude, he had a take today that I noted. I want to know, where was this at in the game? Yes, second quarter. He had that drive where he got the and one. He took that shit like an NFL running back.
Yeah.
He took that in and went all the way strong on 2 defenders on Memphis, got the and one.
Just make smart moves, and we already knew that he was a high IQ player, but truly I think seeing the leap in his development little over halfway through the season, overcoming all the challenges that have been thrown at him early on to put him in somewhat of a slump, I think that's been the greatest thing that stood out to me about Keegan Murray so far.
Yeah, and in this month, he has really put up some efficient numbers. He is averaging 14 points a game, 52% shooting, 51% from 3-point land, 93% from the line, and he's at just under 6 rebounds a game. So that's encouraging to see the rebounding tick up, because I think we keep going back to that Lakers game where he finished with 0 rebounds. He followed that up with a 3-rebound game. Since then, it's looked a lot better for him.
The response has been wonderful.
He's just got with Keegan, he's got the size and the length to go get boards. He's just got to be physical.
And you're seeing he's developing that.
Yeah, and tonight, going up against the Grizzlies,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough team. That's a long team. That's a team that's going to bounce you around. They're going to get physical with you. So I was super encouraged by that. I have a question for you because obviously after a win, we're super excited. Everything's great. Kings are 27-19.
Mm-hmm.
Because we saw some bad defense tonight.
We
saw some sloppiness. I was
Second
more
quarter,
upset with the
third
sloppiness
quarter.
than anything. But the defense, how do you get a happy medium? Like, you're not going to get that fourth quarter. That was total, lockdown defense where a team had, second half of back-to-back, tired legs. By the 5-minute mark or whatever, Jenkins pulls his guys going, okay,
Yeah.
we've seen enough. How do you get this type of effort on a consistent basis? Fight.
Tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like even some of the best teams have these lapses in the NBA. And I'm even talking like Celtics,
You
right?
mean lulls in a game?
Yeah. Where it's just like another team goes on a run and sure, they're breaking down your defense because one, they're doing a better job offensively, but two, maybe you have a different lineup in or something about your mindset just as an individual, because it's you got to be playing as a really good team defense, especially when you're the Sacramento Kings. You don't have a whole bunch of top tier individual defenders out there. So that's what really makes them good. So if one guy is effing up and is 2 steps over here and needs to get 1 step in the paint, the geometry of the floor really comes into play in these moments. And those are like mental lapses, right? And so that's why I think with the Kings, the response has to be quicker. The adjustments have to be after a Mike Brown timeout. You got to figure it out. That's what like the really good teams do. They'll have those lulls, but then they'll figure it out with a timeout adjustment or whatever it may be.
Yeah, and I felt like one thing that the Kings kept giving up tonight was in the pick and roll. It seemed like they ran the play 8 billion times. Was Memphis in the pick and roll, the defense would collapse because they're so focused on the paint, and they gave up corner threes a lot. Memphis did miss some tonight. They ended up going way cold in that fourth quarter, but I'm like, you can't give Jaren Jackson the corner three. You can't be giving up those type of looks. And I felt like that hurt the Kings a lot. And I know they're so focused on the paint right now, and I get all that.
Yeah.
They're really trying to collapse on that. But even some of the stuff that grinds my gears, Morgan, when it comes to this team defensively is when they do come out to close out on three-point shooters.
Oh,
they're just
they bite.
Again, they close out too hard, or you're right. It's like I saw that probably 4 to 5 times tonight where the person with the ball that got the ball from 3 would pump fake and then take the shot.
Yeah.
It's like you're flying at me that hard. And
I know.
you want to recover.
Yep.
But when you look at the good defensive teams, man, they can get out and get in position where they can not only contest, but they're in a good position to not give up middle.
Staying disciplined, right? And chopping the feet up and staying squared up and not angling the guy to be like, okay, I'm going to force you baseline or I'm going to force you middle. It's I'm trying to play you straight up. And that's what you have to do at this level. It's not easy.
No, it's not. You're right.
But and I understand your frustrations, but at the same time too, I think your expectations have taken a leap with what you expect and what you want to see consistently from this team defensively. But you also have to understand the leap that they have taken even from the beginning of the season to now with so many different things getting better.
I just like they close out so hard on Aldama.
That thing's the most frustrating. Yeah,
he's just reading this. He's saying you sprint at him because it's taking you. You're in the paint and you're trying to recover. He gets the ball. He's going, okay, well, fly at me. Let me step over and shoot a 3. You know, like, just be a little better than that.
Yeah,
because and then
discipline.
I saw Keegan, you know, and that this is more of a rookie thing, and they'll look back on tape on this and all this, but you know, he comes out so strong and he tries to get in that position where he's able to like contest without jumping, but he comes out so strong that the guy goes, okay, I'm just gonna drive now because you're out of position. You're lunging 4 now.
Which forces the help to come up, which forces the next
Yeah.
person to rotate over, which usually
It's
someone's
the
open.
little things. And I think Keegan's smart enough defensively that he'll improve on that. But it's not just him. It's a lot of guys on the Kings.
Yes.
But that's where you see that fourth quarter and you're like, oh God, that's perfection. After the game, I was a little surprised because I thought for sure Lyles was going to get defensive player of the game. But we talked about De'Aaron Fox. I thought Stevens was really good tonight. And in that fourth quarter, the deflections by him, he was everywhere. Mike Brown, what do you think about De'Aaron tonight?
I really felt Foxy set the tone for us towards the end of that third quarter and going into the fourth quarter with his defense. His defense was unbelievable. He had 6, 7, 8 deflections tonight. He was extremely active. His ball pressure was fantastic. And being the head of the snake on that end of the floor really gets the rest of the guys going. And so he was fun to watch. Not all offensively he's always fun, but defensively he was really fun to watch tonight. And his leadership too. He took over down the stretch, making the right calls. There probably was in the second half 3 or 4 times in the huddle. I went in and I just said, "Foxy, what you want?" And he took over the huddle and told the guys what to run and where to go and all that other stuff. And when you start to get that consistently, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It just, I mean, the impact that De'Aaron Fox's maturity has taken on entire squad. I mean, look, Sabonis had a triple-double tonight, and we're talking about, Trey Lyles. And I know, but we're talking about Trey Lyles and Malik.
He almost had a Westbrook tonight.
Hey, you get out of here with that. But
You know what that is?
it's something really bad.
What do you think it is, though?
Oh, is it something really bad?
He had 14 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds, 8 turnovers, 2 away from the Westbrook, the quadruple double.
So it is bad. I was thinking it was like a certain play that he did bad. But whatever. Like, you're gonna have that sometimes, and that's okay because he's perfect in my book. No, I'm kidding. But you look
I'm
at
kidding, Ragnarok. Come on.
you look at what De'Aaron Fox's leadership qualities have taken a leap in the growth of and development of his leadership skills.
Because that was something that was a lot of people criticized about him.
Yeah, well, because I don't think any of us here or even around the league saw this coming, saw that this was going to be possible. Everyone wanted this from him. I mean, the amount of times that I just was like, oh yeah, he's just not going to be that type of leader, and that's okay. And it's so cool that he has taken that step and that the entire team has stepped up as well to rally behind him in what he has to say in those huddles, like Mike Brown is saying.
It's where you get a coach who's able to connect with players and get the respect.
Absolutely. A buy-in.
I mean, in life, when you've got someone that can get something positive out of you, that's in there somewhere, that's big time stuff. And that's obviously something that other people have not been able to tap into when it comes to De'Aaron Fox. And Mike Brown has clearly done that with him, where he has taken such strides, not only with his game, but that type of leadership. And I do think even a guy like Sabonis has helped that too.
Yeah, I mean, the two of them together, what they've been able to contribute as leaders and as a coach, when you have players like that, not only is it so valuable, obviously, but it allows you to focus on other things that you might want to focus on, whether it's encouraging another player down the bench or off the bench, or focusing on, trying to tell them what they need to adjust in their game, because you don't need to worry about these two guys. And so it's just good all around. And I'm just so glad that we're seeing it develop game by game.
Anyone else jump out to you tonight? We've covered HB, Keegan, Sabonis. I thought Sabonis, Memphis was aggressive with him. And it's wild because coming into tonight, he averaged 12 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists against them. The 12 points, you're going, that's not a great number. He had 14 tonight. Memphis does a really good job on him. And I think one weakness Sabonis has is just dealing with other bigs who have length and size that can kind of match his physicality. It was good to get him going in pick and rolls because I think that's the way you can get him going. He gets frustrated sometimes too when he misses shots inside. And you saw that with that one where he got frustrated, got the ball back, and man, did he just give a body blow to Jaren Jackson Jr. just right into his chest. Jackson sold it. They called an offensive foul, but he struggled with turnovers in this game.
Yeah, not fun to see when one of your main guys has that number in that category. At the same time, he was contributing in all the other categories, trying to make up for it, canceling each other out, whatever you want to say. But there's such a different type of work he has to do against a team like this. And luckily, Steven Adams wasn't in there. And I know this would have been more of your midterm exam and a way to really see
a measuring stick game,
and measure where the Kings are at if Steven Adams and John Morant were in there as well. But I'm okay that it wasn't that. I'm okay with just getting the W sometimes because I think that in a W like this, we're winning by 33 points, is so valuable to your team's mentality, to your team in the win-loss column when you're trying to make it in this Western Conference. And that's all that matters to me right now. I mean, people want to act like, oh, well, what are you going to do in the postseason? Get there.
It's their largest margin of victory this year, the 33-point win. One more stat, and then we got to get some people in the YouTube chat because you guys have been on fire tonight. How about this stat from OptaStats? Harrison Barnes was 6 of 9 from 3, 66%. Trey Lyles was 6 of 8, 75%. And Keegan Murray, 5 for 7 from 3, 71%. They're the first trio in NBA history to each make 5+ threes while shooting 65% or better from beyond the arc in the same game. Pretty wild.
Wow.
It's a wild stat. That's it. We'll count it. Some of these stats are ridiculous, but I'll count that one. Also, shout out to Muhammad in the chat who donated $5, by the way. Give him a hell yeah. Besides the winning, how about our team having no off-court drama or no negative energy between players or coaches? Team, including coaches, are all unified. Yeah, and I think... Great
point.
I mean, and think about like some of the guys who think they should be playing, and Rashawn Holmes.
And you're not hearing
Terrence
from
Davis.
their camp that they're unhappy and that they hate this and they hate that. You're not hearing that shit. And that, to me, absolutely very powerful. Something you don't talk about really when it's not there, but when you've dealt with it for so long, it is a great perspective to have.
Shout out to Neil, who says, looking for the beam from London. Yeah, maybe like Kings fans should launch beams all over the world.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be a good gimmick. Like the Kings become an international team, and it's like, hey, we're lighting the beam, and it's like lit all over the world.
I'm sure there's some people that I think there's someone in San Diego that put it on TikTok. They made their own beam to light up.
That's true. That's cool. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ant D says Keegan's development is one of the most important things the Kings are doing this year. Yep,
agreed.
Developing him in such a good way. This is I don't think there could be a better environment for a young player to learn, and it's to be around winning, to be around accountability. I mean, the Houston Rockets tonight ended their 13-game win streak. They beat Minnesota.
Wait, their 13-game
losing streak. Thank you. I've been on for a while, Morgan. Thank you for correcting me. But, you just look at that team sometimes and it just lacks structure. And I understand the whole, hey, you got to tank and blah, blah, blah. But, man, there is something about having a really talented, player who can grow around winning.
Yeah.
And that it.
And be asked to only do so much in
they
their
gotta
role.
They got to get Keegan more shots the way he's playing, honestly. I mean, I loved, even in that first quarter, he knocked down a couple of threes. He had one that was open, pump fake, came in, hit a mid-range jumper.
Yeah, smart guy.
Yeah. Lee says Sabonis was saying Keegan is learning how he could be physical without worrying about fouling. Exactly, and that takes the time for some young players. God, I love all you people in the chat right now. Coach Mike Brown has high expectations for Keegan, says CJ, and he's been meeting them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I completely agree.
Pushes him.
Also, I'm sorry. We still have close to 600 people watching us live right now. Can we get the 300 thumbs up? All the thumbs up. All that does is help our channel grow.
Algorithms.
Yeah. Just hit it. That means we're going to be seen by more people. Also, hit the subscribe button. We've had S. Yama do it. Amplifying Pixels subscribe. We had Jonathan subscribe. Appreciate everyone as we try to close to 10,000 subs. Yeah, I don't think we got a pic of the chain tonight that De'Aaron Fox put on. So.
Oh, yeah. Some people were asking. He obviously got the defensive player of the game chain. I know we mentioned that early on, but no photo.
Yeah, not yet. We'll take a look in a bit.
Okay.
Thank you, Solid, who became a member on YouTube. Cavi bringing up a point. Trey, the JJJ whisperer, Lyles was gotten by trading Bagley. How is this even real life? Yeah, I mean, I remember that trade deadline because they got Trey Lyles, Josh Jackson back in that deal. I think DiVincenzo was involved, the 3-team deal. And who would have thought that Trey Lyles would be the most impactful player in that trade?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of wild.
It is wild. It's I don't think any of us expected to see something like this. I think you and I did a small breaking news pod on some of the new acquisitions, but there wasn't much to really say. Matt Barnes said that he remembers playing against him in one of his final years of playing in the NBA and was just like, he remembered him being like, oh man, this guy can shoot. This guy is big.
Yeah. And to his point about defending Jaren Jackson Jr., that one play late where he got the jump ball on Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
That was big too.
Yeah. No, dude, Jaren Jackson Jr. in so many different ways, just the way that he battles for the basketball, disrupts every shot at the rim. It's scary in there. He is so active. He is so good in there. I mean, especially when he's not fouling, but I thought he did a pretty good job of that tonight.
Well, the Kings end up shooting 55% in this game, 22 of 40 from three, 1 3-pointer shy of tying the franchise record they set earlier this year. Another fun part about this game is we didn't see 8 billion free throws. It's probably because John Morant didn't play in this game. Memphis was just 8 of 10 from the line. Sacramento 13 of 14. The Kings won the rebounding battle 52-31. They had 37 assists on 49 makes. What an unbelievable number.
Yep.
So the Kings put up 133, and they took 9 fewer shot attempts than the Memphis Grizzlies.
Wow. Just what?
Just crazy.
It really is. It's one of those nights where I'm just really happy with the way they played. And I think sometimes people want to be picky with some things and be like, oh, but this wasn't good here. And that's how the game is. Like, I know you were even talking about consistency for a little bit there. And it's like, we would love if every game that could be that consistent. They were also playing a good team in the Memphis Grizzlies, even if they were down 2 of their guys.
Great point from Joe, too. He says, Lyles is hella cute, too.
Great point, Joe. Hella cute and good at basketball.
Joe, also thank you for becoming a member. Hey, Marcus in the chat says, what are your thoughts about Rui going to the Lakers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a trade in the NBA. I know there's a report from Michael Scotto from Hoops Hype this morning that said the Kings were maybe interested along with the Mavs. And then 2 hours later, he was traded to the Lakers for a few second-round picks and Kendrick Nunn. It's like a low-risk move for the Lakers. I mean, I think getting Rui in an environment that is different is good. I think you look at Rui, and I mentioned this today on our show on Sacktown Sports. I think the idea of Rui right now is better than the reality of Rui. And he's got the size, he's got the length, inconsistent defensively. God, if he can knock down the shot, like there's things you look at and you watch him and you go, oh, you see something in there. Can it get elevated to another level with the Lakers? I don't know. I think that's a challenge. I think it's a good move for them to take a look at him, and if it turns into something great, but it doesn't all of a sudden propel them. That wasn't the big move for the Lakers, right?
Yeah, it's like I don't see. I really like Rui, and I think It is situational for him, and I think he can play better somewhere else. But when I look at the Lakers situation, I'm not going, oh yeah, he's going to excel there. Like that's the place to make his game even that much better. No, not necessarily. I think LeBron James can make anyone around him better, but at the same time, it's a weird ass team, and there's nights that they're on and they're getting these weird wins, and then there's other nights where it's just like, okay, how is this team even going to be in the postseason? So, yeah, good for the Lakers for even making a move, though, and I think it moves the needle a little bit for them.
Does it? Like,
No. Listen, moves the needle in the sense of it's a change for them. It's an update. It's the start of something,
That's
but
fair.
if it's the end of something, then the needle stays.
Man, I'm really surprised that Kendrick Nunn, like when they signed him, I remember that offseason, they got Monk, they
From
got
Miami.
Nunn. And you're going, those are the two moves you really like. And then
Yeah.
he missed all last year. They really didn't give him much at all. I'm like, God, when he was with Miami a couple years back, I love that
He was
guy.
killing it. Yeah. I mean, we saw him again. In the G League, we saw him. We were like, okay, he's a hooper. He's going to play. And then going into Miami system was probably the best way that he could develop in the NBA. And then, yeah, after the injury, just not a lot of, I don't know. Again, talk about another situation that could be better for Kendrick Nunn.
I want to get to what Mike Brown had to say. Someone just shared this, and
Coach, how
we
much
didn't
more
hear it yet.
comfortable have you
He was
seen-
talking about someone in our Discord shared it, so you guys should hop in our Discord too. It's a great community. Sometimes it gets a little crazy sometimes, but it's kind of worth it too. Mike Brown talking about Keegan Murray's strides.
Coach, how much more comfortable have you seen Keegan grow in the world of the NBA on and off the court?
He's getting comfortable. I mean, you could just see it. He's starting to attack more, and when he attacked early in the season, he was shooting a layup, fading away, and getting it smacked. And now he's starting to understand that I am pretty strong. I am pretty athletic. I do have some quickness. I can score over people, and that evolution is just the beginning of what he can be, because we already know he can shoot the three. Most people, they haven't seen a ton of it. His pull-up game is going to be outrageous, I'm telling you, because he's got just such a great touch. But now his ability to get to the rim and finish in traffic is his next step offensively, because when he does do that, he's just going to have the defense go like that, and now plays are going to be simply made for his teammates. And it's going to make the game not only easier for him, but easier for the rest of us, which is what we're waiting on. But the evolution is starting to happen right in front of us.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm just going to be straight with you guys right now.
Are we Mike Brown?
I mean, does Mike Brown just listen to our podcast and pull what we say? I know I'm the basketball mom, but are you kidding me?
Shut up.
This is what we said. We said that tonight.
It's really funny. We've
That we
had
talk
this.
about the growth. We're
There's-
seeing the consistency.
There's so many times, like in a shoot around, people will be getting audio, and then we'll hear it online, and we're like, dudes, we talked about that same thing last night. Oh, that's really good. Mike Brown was breaking down that same thing. But then to see that right there in the post game too, it is fun to see. And obviously so many other people see it, but it is fun like saying it and then he says it. It does make me feel good. It's like,
feels good.
okay, we're on track. We're
Feels
good.
good to be locked in, man. Someone else in the chat was mentioning, what do you guys think of Jonathan Isaac's return to the NBA? Well, what's wild for Jonathan Isaac, he played his first game tonight in over 900 days. And I remember exactly when the injury happened, because it happened when the Kings, during the restart inside the bubble, were taking on Orlando. That's the last time we saw Jonathan Isaac play an NBA game. And so it's been a long road back. He said, I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to come back. He plays 10 minutes tonight. 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 of 7 shooting. So, I mean, obviously I didn't see it. I was, at the
Good
Kings
for
game, but
him. And they got the win.
They beat Boston again.
Oh, yes.
Boston has 13 losses this year. 3 of them have come against the Orlando Magic.
Dude.
Now, in all fairness, Tatum missed one of those games. Also tonight, they were without Marcus Smart, who was out, Brogdon was out, and Robert Williams. But I mean, you still got Tatum, Brown, and Horford. They started Blake Griffin tonight. Pretty wild.
Yeah, that is
Pretty
pretty
wild.
wild. And you're exactly right. When you do have those other pieces, like you still have a solid team. Very interesting that they just don't come ready to play against Orlando.
Yeah.
And good for Jonathan Isaac.
By the way, one look at the NBA standings. Kings in the West, still the number 3 seed, 27-19. They have a game and a half lead on the Pelicans right now and a 3-game lead on the Mavs.
What?
When you start seeing the separation, it's
I
exciting.
know.
You got to keep it rolling. Let's keep it moving. You got to play Dallas twice coming up here. Oh
yeah,
man,
that
this is
back to
fun.
back.
We're at this. We just finished game 46 of the season.
This is when I start getting nervous. I hate this feeling.
Just enjoy the ride like we always say. All right, should we be nice? Let's do this because we are a little bit a ways from calling it a night. We're going to be back live again on Sacktown Sports at 11 a.m. It wouldn't be a night chat if we didn't talk to this guy. What's up, Nick?
Hi, Deuce and Mo.
What is
Hi,
up, man?
Nick.
I called in today.
You did?
No, for those of you on the chat, I called in today, and I got to say, why not like the beam? Why not like the beam?
You did.
That
You said
was
it
great, Nick.
on our first show today.
Yes, I did, and I'm making it grow bigger as I call in the show. It's gonna grow.
Oh, yes,
Whoa,
Nick.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yes, Nick.
Are you saying you're going to help our ratings?
I am going to help your ratings, and I'm going to help the show grow bigger.
Yes.
How do you think you're going to do that?
Get more people call in.
I love
Because
it.
you're famous?
Yes, get more people call in.
Why do you think you're so famous?
Because I am.
Ooh.
Okay, Nick, this is where we're going to have a problem.
Why?
You're famous because I
No.
have you on my stage.
No.
You are a performer, but guess who owns the stage? Deuce Mason. I'm the director, and I say, Nick, go out there. I made you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. No, he's right. He's right. Nick knows.
Hey, why not light the beam?
Why not light the beam?
No, you call me Daddy Deuce.
No.
Yes.
No, Nick. No, you're tired. You're sleepy. You don't know what you're saying right
Nick,
now.
you will help.
Can you do the song for me?
Oh.
Okay.
So, Fire Laser song?
Yeah,
Anything for
I
you.
love that he calls it a song, but yes.
Arm the laser.
I'm in the laser! Begin laser ignition!
Fire the laser!
Yes. Why not light the beam?
Why not light the beam?
Why
Nick.
not light the beam?
You're half asleep, Nick.
Yeah, Nick, we do appreciate you calling into our show this morning and tonight. You are the best, and I guarantee you are the reason why our show will get big.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate your energy as always. Kings win. It was fun. You have sleep dreams.
Yes. Did you guys have donuts this morning?
Yes, far too many. Nick,
Yes.
it's
You
time
should
for
have brought-
bed.
You should have gave me some
Sleep dreams, Nick.
Sleep dreams.
sleep beams.
Sleep beams. Yes. Nick is on fire, man.
Really is.
Nick's big time now. Like,
I'm
he's-
the reason why your ratings are going to be bigger. That confidence right there, love Coach Nick. Those are the vibes we need, everybody.
Oh.
Whoa, Joe. Mo had like 5 donuts. I had 1.5, which is technically 2, but I only ate 1.5.
So funny. I love that he said sleep beams too.
Sleep
Hey,
beams.
one more to get to. Let's go to our buddy Jamie. By the way, young Jamie.
Yeah.
We met him tonight at the Kings game for the
We
first time. He came up
did.
to us. We got a chance to say hi to him. What's up, Jamie? Oh, he was there, and he's gone.
Wow.
He probably was like, dude, I gotta go. It's like midnight.
He's like,
I got school tomorrow.
You guys, what are we doing here?
Well, just know that we got the chance to meet Jamie. Do you have the picture?
Yeah.
Why
I
don't you just
put
show
it
it
on
to-
Discord.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, when?
Like way earlier tonight. Would that be too hard to find?
I mean,
Here, I could just go like this.
I can probably find it. Hold on, I want to show the people.
Okay.
We got to meet young Jamie tonight
Yeah.
at the game. He was wearing his Domantas Sabonis jersey, right?
Dude, yeah, he was
Oh, I
wearing
can't
his
find it
bonus jersey. Here. Let me see.
Oh yeah. Look, Young Jamie. Oh, that's a great quality. Great quality.
There we
We
go.
did
Right
great
there
stuff
it is.
there.
There he is. Sweet young Jamie.
Lee Adams mentioning in the chat, Keegan is shooting 54% from 3 over the last 10 games. I already did that stat, man. Come on, Lee. You can do
Don't
me
be
like
mad.
that. Seriously, we can't thank all you guys enough for supporting us today. The fact that there are people who are in this chat tonight who are listening to us from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time on Sacktown Sports, and then here tonight after a Kings win, we appreciate you because it's a lot more fun to do this for people and to hang out with all you and enjoy these fun wins. We're going to be back at it again, 11 a.m. on Sacktown Sports, and then we'll be live following Kings and Raptors on Wednesday nights. We love you guys, but we gots to go.
You all have a wonderful rest of your night. We'll see you in the morning. See ya!
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce